Hello everyone, my name is Moshi. Um, the title of this video may make this intro very self-evident, so I'm not going to say what the title is, because you probably read it and then clicked on the video out of interest. But because of when my channel started, I thought I would spend this video reviewing some food. I'm gonna be reviewing the Oreo Choco Brownie flavor, because I've never had it before, and also because we just need some like fun little light-hearted bits to like put in between all the drama, Twitter drama mainly. Disclaimer, none of this video is meant to slander the Nox crew team, the MCC team, or Scott Smager himself. I am simply stating my own personal opinions on the event that do not have to be acknowledged by Nox crew, MCC, Scott Smager, anyone in that specific field. Um, Also, nothing against any of the creators that took part in MCC. I'm sure they're all lovely people, or maybe not. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Disclaimer over. Okay, so the first point I would like to make is about Hannah being benched. Now, I know that this probably wasn't for any specific reason at all on MCC's part. However, in my notes here, I have written that Scott has said before that they take into account how good a player is when creating teams. And Hannah was benched, so people are assuming that she was benched for quote unquote being too good. As Scott has said, if a player is too good, the more likely they are to be benched. However, Hannah's last three event scores, she hasn't been in any more events than three. Hannah's last three event scores have been 15th, 18th, and 13th overall. So I don't think that's really the sign of a player being too good. I think that's more just like average in the player skill kind of department. But like, what do I know? Honestly, Nox Crew could know something that I don't. It's all up to perspective, I guess. There were a few teams of people who have won this event like 5 times, 6 times even. Someone won for the 6th time this MCC, I think. So benching people for being too good and then letting someone who's won the event like 5 times before play seems a bit unfair. Like, if you're gonna bench people for being too good at the game, then why are you letting people who've won the event 5 times before play in the event? That seems a bit illogical. Also, when I was researching for Hannah, I found out that Tubbo wasn't controlling his character for some of the stream. Um, Apparently people were also blaming MCC for the hack, which at the end of the day, guys, it's not MCC's fault. It was really just some random troll who wanted to hack Tubbo, make him lose. Which they actually succeeded in. They jumped directly off of the Sky Battle map. Um, so, I can't really tell you much of anything there. So the second point I'm coming to is that George was trolling and to get to the other side. Now, on Twitter, I've seen mixed opinions. It's either George is such a bad person or stop bullying George. You're meant to do that and to get to the other side. However, you are not supposed to spam troll other players. You can sabotage them while you're still doing the course. That's perfectly fine. I'm not like saying anything about that. However, he was waiting specifically at the end of the courses to troll people. Now, on the MCC Island, that is actually a bannable offense, and I will put a screenshot up on screen just to prove that that is an actual thing. If you target people specifically and don't finish the game at the end, then that is trolling and can be banned on MCC Island. As someone who has been at the receiving end of trolling on to get to the other side, I know that it feels like absolute shit. I'm gonna be real. It makes me feel so angry, but then at the same time, I want to break down crying. I guess that's probably the autism. In the clip of the person that I saw who was getting trolled by George, they looked really just done with it.
All the way left. Dude, they ran away from you. Wait, there's only 3. There's only 4 left. You good? They're fighting. There's one all the way to the far left if you want to avoid getting punched.
Right above you, right above you.
George is sabotaging, so.
Nice, all the way left. Good. Above you now?
Dude,
oh.
George, what a...
This is cringe. This is so cringe by
like,
George,
why?
actually.
Like, why are you actually
Because
doing
they're in
that?
last place. That's why.
Yeah, but he's in last place.
Steal it!
I can't hit it, dude.
Oh.
Did he get it? Am I done?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if we got dodge
It's
roll.
gonna be close.
Well,
I mean, I see Orange beat us by like 100 points. It's gonna be like,
George
somewhere
very
in the
much
second
now.
to fourth range. I think Oreo.
So there's a line where trolling goes from funny to absolute bullying, and that line should be respected and not crossed, because people were telling George actively in the MCC chat to stop, and he was not listening because trolling people was fun, or something like that. I'll get a tweet up just showing that he said that.
It's kind of fun trolling people.
That brings me into a little nice segue to my next point. There should be stricter consequences for MCC Island bannable offences on the MCC event. Now, I'm not entirely sure how many bannable offences have happened in the past with MCC. However, I do know that it has happened before and people have got off very lightly for something that you'd be banned for on the island. I understand that the community is very different to the actual players, and that maybe, like, yeah, a one-time thing that would be banned on the island on the actual event would be probably fine, and it's none of my place to judge or anything like that. But I still think there should be stricter consequences. Maybe, like, not let a player play in the event for a good couple of events before they can play again, just as like a little, like, please don't do that again, or you will not be able to play for another, for example, 5 events. Just make the number go up and up. And if they do it too many times, then they're not allowed to play, period. The reason that I made this point in the video is that because people will copy their faves. They will copy their favourite creators. For example, George griefing, or trolling, or whatever the fuck I said. That is something that his fans will copy him doing on the island. They are influencers at their core, so that's why I said there should be harsher consequences. Anyway, continue, sorry. I feel like that should be, like, a general rule. I don't know if that's what they do already. I'm gonna have to research into that, and editing Moshi will have to update you. However, that is just my opinion on the consequences that should take place for island bannable offences happening in the event. Hi, editing Moshi update here. All I could really find on the Nox Crew website was I couldn't find any rules surrounding what people are allowed to do on MCC. I'm assuming it's vaguely the same as the island, like no trolling, no spamming, whatever. But yeah. Continue, back to you, Video Moshi. Now the next thing was a big thing on Twitter that I saw and I didn't have much context for. So I went into this thinking, like, into my research, thinking, oh, Eret was scared to play with Sapnap on a team because they didn't want Sapnap to get competitive and angry and, like, disappoint their team or anything. However, I've looked at Twitter, and the actual clip is Eret saying that they're scared to disappoint her team and not scared to be teamed with Sapnap, like I originally heard. I don't get why people spread false rumours like that about CCs being scared of other CCs, but, like, we'll get into that another time. However, that brings me into a nice little segue of MCC should be for fun, as a few Twitter users have been saying. So if a teammate of someone else is scared to be disappointing the team, or scared to be losing for fear of, like, upsetting other people, that shouldn't really be on the cards. I feel like this event should be for content creators to have fun and not to be overly competitive about a Minecraft game. Like, it's a Minecraft game at the end of the day, innit? Finally, people have been saying this MCC felt off. I personally haven't watched MCC yet, as I'm a VOD watcher and I will be watching it hopefully today. But yeah, it just, I don't know, to me, even someone who hasn't even watched the event, it felt slightly off. It felt strange. At least the build up to it did, because I haven't actually watched the event itself, as I've said before. The build up to it felt weird. I wasn't getting any of the MCC tweets on my feed like I usually would, so, like, I guess that didn't really help my build up excitement. And then I wasn't sure when the date was, because it wasn't really being said by many people, so I had to look at the Twitter itself to learn what the date was. So yeah, all in all, a bit of a weird MCC this time. Another disclaimer, this is not meant to shit on Scott or any of the Nox crew or MCC staff. That is definitely not my intention. And if it's come across that way, then please do tell me and I'll take this video down or unlist it or whatever. But yeah. I'm going to be tasting the Oreo Choco Brownie flavour because I've never had it before. If you're going to come in my comments and call me fat or fat shame me or say that I shouldn't be eating cookies because I have a double chin, then you can kindly leave this video now. I'm happy with my double chin. Not like happy with it, but I've come to terms with having one. And I am perfectly average of weight. So if you feel like you need to do that, then you need to take a good long look in the mirror, honey, because you're the problem. Okay, so first impressions is it's very thin. That's okay. Usually Oreos are very thin. The ones I've eaten are anyway. I usually get the double stuff ones, so this is thinner than I'm used to, but it still looks good. That smells like one of those chocolate brownies you get at a restaurant for dessert. Like, that's a good smell. I'm gonna be real. I'm hoping it tastes accurate to a brownie. I'm not entirely sure. I've never had this before, as I said. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Now, I'm gonna leave you guys to your MCC drama while I go finish off these cookies. Bye.